Great. Thank you very much. It's a real privilege to be with you all tonight. I want to make it clear that whether you're a politician or a layman, our faith is going to enter into the political decisions, and our perceptions of appropriate laws, governmental initiatives, etc. We're debating this problem at this point because many people are afraid that the church has overstepped its boundaries. And in a new book that Tony Perkins and I have co-authored, called Personal Faith, Public Policy, we talk a little bit about the fact that the corporate role of the church has to be defined. In fact, as we begin this book, we apologize to the American culture for having been too closely aligned to one party. Ultimately, if you're going to be a conscience to a system or a conscience to a society, there would be an implication that you would be objective, you would have something that you would look at that is objective in nature, and then you would comment on culture, conduct, and morality. Based on our definition of the role of the church, then, we believe that an apology was necessary to the nation for how, in recent years, there's been this imbalance. And it's legitimate. We look at Virginia here apologizing for its role in slavery. But we don't apologize for the interaction of individual Christians in this society. We believe that what we've been missing is intellectual architecture for a way of people in being involved in the political process. Tony and I have talked about 7 issues that we feel that people can come together and solve on our watch. We believe that individual Christianity is really at the heart of who this nation is, and that individuals must bring their faith into their positions of national service. Let's take a moment to review how this has worked out in the past. After a radical conversion, evangelistic conversion, William Wilbur, as we've talked about before, decided that he was not going to leave politics, but rather he would be involved in the political process. He fought against the slave trade. He also introduced anti-slavery motions to Parliament, and his passion was powerful, and it led to the abolition of slavery based on his values about 3 days before he passed away. Similarly, political scientists tell us that Abraham Lincoln was the first politician to be accused of failing to separate church and state. Also, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was moved by religious convictions. Let me quote him quickly. He said this: "Since we so diligently urge people to obey the Supreme Court's decision of 1954, outlawing segregation in the public schools, at first glance it may seem rather paradoxical for us consciously to break laws. One may well ask, how can we advocate breaking some laws and obeying others? Herein lies the fact that there are 2 types of laws, just and unjust." He then goes on to quote St. Augustine. He also says that St. Thomas Aquinas was someone who he admired, and he said an unjust law is a human law that is not rooted in eternal and natural law. It seems to me that Christianity specifically is something that should be involved in our thought process. And as an African American, I'm indebted to people who have gotten involved. I wouldn't be free today. I wouldn't have an opportunity to speak today if there hadn't been someone who was religiously motivated who decided that they would speak out. My people, my family, and my community would all be jeopardized by the silence that immoral leadership would bring. Thank you very much.